Hello everyone and welcome back. My name is Shaunneka, and if you are new here, I release seated, slow flows, and yin yoga practices. So we are at day 5 in our Restmas series, a series that I designed to keep us grounded and centered through the busy month of December. So for day 5, we have a restful and balancing yin yoga practice. I know we are at the peak of the holiday season, and this is just your opportunity to find a moment for yourself and turn that excitement notch down just a little bit to find a little bit of ease and balance through it all. The practice today is very beginner friendly and really perfect for any seasoned practitioner. No props are required. However, a blanket you might want to try in dangling and towards the end of the practice. Just have it handy in case you do decide to use it. Today I am drinking masala chai tea. There's something about chai that reminds me of porridge, and growing up I always just remember eating porridge during this time of the year. And actually, you know what? I was eating porridge all the time, but Christmas time, there's something about porridge. I'm sure you get that when you smell certain scents, it brings you back to certain memories. That's my memory when I drink a chai. So get into something cozy, grab something warm to drink, and I will see you on the mat. Starting with a toe squat today. So finding a tabletop position and tucking the toes under, and then bearing your weight back onto your heels, dragging your pinky toes forward. Just closing the eyes here. Let's take a nice big shoulder roll here. Inhale, draw the shoulders up towards the ears. And on the exhale, draw them down and away. Notice if you're tensing the shins, and try to relax them. So adding in a little bit of a neck and shoulder stretch, taking the right arm out to the right. Turning the palm to face the back, bringing the top of the hand into the crevice of your hip, so in between your lower rib cage and your hip. Taking the left hand now, grabbing a hold of the outside of that right elbow and gently draw it in towards center. You can draw your left ear to your left shoulder if you like. Let's gently release that side. We'll do that on the other side. So extending the left arm out to the side, turning the palm to face the back of the room. Top of the hand comes to the crevice of your hip and your lower left rib cage as you draw the left shoulder towards the midline, taking that right hand and gently pulling the elbow to center. And again, you can drop the ear to the shoulder if that feels good. Let's gently release that side. If you'd like to go a little bit deeper for these last few breaths, you can bring your hands behind you. You might need to readjust your hips. Let's take our last 2 breaths here. A nice big inhale. And sigh it out. One more inhale. And let it go. If you're back, rock up, rock forward, plant the palms. Untuck the toes. Gonna rotate the ankles. Maybe wiggle the toes. Can tap the toes on top of the mat. Some life back in there. And from here, we'll counter stretch that now. So stretching everything just below the knee, top of the shin, top of the foot. So this time you're going to press your toenails into the floor and then bear your weight back onto your heels. So you might already be feeling a stretch. You can stay here, or you can gently lift your knees towards your chest. We'll only be here for 3 breaths. For 3. For 2. And 1. Gently lower, rock forward again, and untuck. Rotate the ankles. Maybe extend one leg back. And the other. And from here, this is where you're going to want to grab your blanket. We'll be making our way into dangling. And so you're going to fold your blanket in a way that it is slightly thick. And actually the thickness will just depend on your preference. I'm going to make mine quite thick. I folded it right in half. It feels really nice when you're in a dangling position to feel a little bit of compression on the belly as you're leaning forward. So from here, coming to stand, bringing your feet about hips width distance apart, and then taking the blanket and bringing it in between the belly and the thighs, and then finding a little bit of length before you fold over the blanket. Feel really nice and supportive here. And then just let the head go. You can also make fists, place them in the eyes of your elbows for added weight. Last few breaths here. Always find it nice to find a little bounce. A little sway from side to side. So coming into our last 2 breaths, if you had your fists and your elbows, just take them out, sprinkle your fingertips out far, far in front of you. On an inhale, think about breathing into the back of the rib cage, into the back of the neck. Tense your fingertips here. Inhale, breathe in. And exhale, sigh it out. One more inhale. Think about pulling the fingertips back as you breathe in. Inhale. And exhale, let it go. Plant your palms. Maybe move your feet back just a little bit. Bend the knees. Come back down onto the knees. Remove the blanket. Just take a moment here. From here, interlacing your fingers behind you. So digging your knuckles into your low back as you draw the shoulders up towards your ears and down the back. Squeeze the shoulder blades together and then squeeze the elbows together. Puff up through the chest. Inhale. Reach, 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 reach. You can stay here or maybe begin to release the knuckles down towards the mat. 3, 2, and 1. Gently release. From here, finding a tabletop position, finding a melting heart with a twist. So the back knees are going to stay as is. You can cross the ankles or you can squeeze a block between your thighs if you have one handy, just for a little bit of more stability. So from here, extending your left arm out in front of you, take your right arm, right palm faces up towards the ceiling as you draw your right arm underneath the left. And before we go any further, draw your right shoulder away from your ear and proceed to bring your right temple, right shoulder to the mat. And I always like to use my left fingertips to gently push away to help find a little bit more rotation in the pose. Last few breaths on this side. Last 2 breaths, nice big inhale, and sigh it out. One more inhale, and let it go. Push into the left hand, unravel, find that tabletop position again. And crossing the ankles if that's what you desire, or squeezing a block between your thighs, completely up to you. Or just having your legs directly behind you. Extend your right arm forward this time, taking the left arm underneath, the palm faces up, and starting to bring your left arm underneath the right. Before we go any further, draw that left shoulder down and away from the ear as you proceed to bring your left temple, left shoulder to the mat. And again, I like to use my right hand to gently push away. You can even hold on to the mat if that feels more comfortable. Last few breaths here. Take our last 2 breaths, a nice big inhale. And sigh it out. One more inhale. And let it go. Gently push into the right hand. Unravel. Bring the left hand to the floor. Maybe shimmy out your hips. Maybe take a few cat-cow. And from here, we'll make our way into a frog. So bringing the knees nice and wide as they can go for you. Glance over your shoulders and make sure that your feet are pointing in the same direction as your knees, so your feet are flexed. And then before we come down, instead of coming down and bringing your weight with you, you're thinking about pushing your hips gently back. Then coming down onto your forearms and using your forearms as leverage to gently push down to rock back. And you may notice that as you gently rock back, there's a point where you can't go any further. You feel a wall of resistance. That's where you want to be. Relaxing the groin, the inner thighs. Notice if you're squeezing your pelvic floor. And relax. Notice if you've allowed yourself to come forward and gently rock back. Last 2 breaths here. Nice big inhale, fill up. And sigh it out. One more inhale. And let it go. Gently from here, rock right onto your belly. Leave the legs nice and wide. Let's take a moment here. Gently closing the legs. Just roll right onto your back. Finding a twist from here. So bringing your arms out into a T position. Taking the left knee and crossing it right over the right. Draw the knees in towards the chest. And then drop both knees down and over to the right. Last few breaths on this side. Making these your deepest breaths. The last 2 breaths here, nice big inhale. And sigh it out. 1 more inhale. And let it go. Pushing down into your right foot to draw the knees back up. Uncross the left knee. Bring the soles of the feet to the mat. Readjust the hips. We'll do this on the other side. So this time you're crossing the right knee over the left knee. Nice and snug. Arms come out to that T position. Draw the knees in towards the chest and down and over to the left. Just making sure you're actually on your left hip. Last few breaths here. Last 2 breaths here. Nice big inhale. And let it go. 1 more inhale. And let it go. Bend the left knee, bring the sole of the left foot to the floor. Draw the shape all the way back up and uncross the right knee. Readjust. Readjust yourself. Draw the knees in towards the chest. A gentle rock side to side. We'll find double wind relieving pose. So drawing the knees in towards the chest. Lift your head, neck, and shoulders. Wrap your arms around your knees or grab a hold of your feet. I'm going to squeeze in here nice and tight for 3, for 2. Take a nice big inhale, squeeze, 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 squeeze. And exhale, release. Extend your legs out wide, arms out wide for your resting pose. If you have your blanket handy, you can place it underneath the neck. So when I place the towel underneath my neck, I like to feel like my head is dropping back. If I could explain it, that's how it feels. So it's almost like there's slight traction in the neck. And this is dependent on how thick you roll up your blanket. Slowly beginning to invite movement back into the body, wiggling the fingers, the toes, rotating the ankles, the wrists. Let's take a nice long body stretch, reach the arms up overhead. Reach. And on the exhale, let it go. And the knees one by one, rolling over onto your side. And cradle the head, the upper arm here. And very gently push yourself all the way up to a seat. So with your eyes closed and your hands at heart center, just humbly bow your chin in towards your chest. Maybe you bring your hands onto your knees. Just take a few moments here. Just allow the mind and the body to settle. I hope you enjoyed day 5 of the Restmas series. I hope you're feeling rested. I know we are at the peak of the holiday season, so I hope you found this balancing for all of your holiday needs. If you did enjoy today's practice, leave me a comment. Let me know how you got on. I know you guys have been really enjoying this series, and I enjoy reading all of your comments. Share it with friends and family, and I will see you back here for day 6 of the Restmas series.